Children, so the grand jury's already reached their decision. I believe the prosecutor's office is having a press conference on Darren Wilson and the Michael Brown case, and if you have no idea what's going on, you obviously don't live on planet Earth. It's the case where Michael Brown they have footage of him robbing the liquor store before he was confronted by Officer Darren Wilson when he was walking home with his friend, and he was shot and left in the middle of the road, and then they came to pick up his body, and the whole scenario of how he was shot, why he was shot, the reason for why he was shot, all of that is this whole big story, and it's the reason why everyone in St. Louis, Missouri, and in Ferguson, Missouri, it's the reason for the protest and the reason why everyone's upset, because the police are saying Michael Brown assaulted the officer. Eyewitnesses and the friend are saying that the officer was the one that assaulted them and pursued them even when they were backing away, and that's when Michael Brown was shot. A lot of you have asked me on Tumblr what I thought and whether or not I thought the officer, Darren Wilson, was going to walk. Yeah, I think he is going to walk. I think he's going to walk because I think the minute that video came out of Michael Brown and his friend robbing the liquor store, robbing the convenience store, I think the minute that video came out, everyone was just like, well, guilty. Because you automatically assume, well, he's robbing a store, and then he gets confronted by a police officer, something else happens, and then he's shot. And in the video, the convenience store video, he did get into some type of fight with the convenience store clerk. So it's almost, a lot of people make the assumption that, well, if he's going to fight the convenience store clerk, maybe he's going to fight a police officer, and maybe that's how this whole thing got started. Which I don't think is, if that's your assumption, honestly, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Sarah, I can't believe you're going to say this. But honestly, if that's where you're going with this, because you've led up from the videotape, I don't blame you too much, and I don't like comparing this case to Trayvon Martin, because Trayvon Martin was just walking home with some Skittles. I think the Michael Brown case is a lot different because, and I know a lot of people are like, Sarah, I can't believe you're going to say this. He did rob the store, and then something happened with that officer, and then he was shot. Now, I believe that the officer knew that he had robbed the store, which the police at first had come out and said that he didn't know that. I think the APB went out pretty quick. This officer saw them walking because they stole like a carton of cigarettes. I think the officer saw them walking that carton of cigarettes and was like, yep, I got him. And something happened, he gets shot. Now, whether or not there was an altercation, that's the part, because a lot of people are going to naturally assume, well, he robbed the store, he roughed up the clerk, so he roughed up a police officer. Roughing up a 5-foot clerk in a convenience store and roughing up a police officer with a gun, I think those are two different ends of the ocean, but I do think this officer knew that he had stole those cigarettes, and probably something had happened. There was probably like a back and forth, and then the shooting occurred. Now, the reason for the shooting is what I don't know. Was he shot close range? Was he shot fleeing? Now, there's new evidence saying he was shot over 100 feet away. But everyone's going to jump to the conclusion. That's why I think this officer's going to walk. Everyone's going to jump to the conclusion. The thought process is going to be, well, this kid deserved it because he robbed the convenience store. That's going a little too far now. If we're going to shoot people, walking down the street after they, stole cigarettes, I think that one's going a little too far. If he was shot because he was assaulting the officer, that's a different story. But I think either way that the officer walks because this kid was robbing the convenience store, and everyone's just like, well, whatever happened to this kid after he was robbing the store, he deserved. That's just the way most people are going to read it. I don't necessarily believe that, but I believe that's their thought process. Police officers on paid leave, that's the police unions at work. They get paid after they shoot somebody. But yeah, I think this guy walks, and a lot of people, I've seen a lot of criticism too online where, well, these people are animals because that's what they say online, that these people are animals because the looting and the protesting. I think a lot of the looting, and let's take it step by step, looting and protesting are two different things. The people looting I don't think are from Ferguson. I think they're from outside of Ferguson, because nobody with an ounce of common sense is going to loot their own city. I think somebody wants a free TV, drives into Ferguson, and loots. And it's a ton of people doing that. And they should be arrested quick. Bring out the tear gas for them, because what they're doing to that city is horrible. The protesting, from what I've seen, has been safe. It's been not safe for the protesters, but they've been peaceful. You can't blame them for protesting the way this kid was shot and the way the whole investigation went down. The cops have put in requests with the FAA closing down the airspace so that news helicopters can't fly over, because then they can get coverage of the police tear gassing the protesters, which is what it came out. It was all about. It was about suppressing information. So, you know, that's the thing about this whole case. It's not black and white as everyone wants it to be. It's not going to be like a very clear cut, oh, he robbed the store, and then the officer found him, and then he got in a fight with the officer, and he shot him. It's not going to be that. This case is not that easy. I think people are going to want it to be that easy, but it's not that easy. You can just tell the police department is crooked. So you have that problem on your side. So anything that comes out of the police, you really have to take it for a grain of salt, and you almost need a fine-tooth comb to go comb them over and say, is that really what happened? Because you can't even trust them, and that's, I think, the really sad part in all of this. And news, print media, all of them have been trained to whatever the police say, that's what they print. Whatever's in a police report, that's what they print. Whatever the police say in a press conference, that's what they go by. That's what they take as the truth. That's what they report on. That's what they build their whole story on. And I think with the internet, that's what we're seeing. It's too dangerous. A lot of the things coming out about Mike Brown in the beginning, a lot of people were just like, no, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. But the news was reporting it because that's what the police said. The police said he was armed. The police said a lot of things that weren't true in the beginning just to pad their case, and it was reported. And everyone was like, nope, that's not what happened. You had eyewitnesses, you had a friend with him that went with him to the store, that was walking home with him. But that's where I am. I think he walks because I think people saw I've said this already, they saw that convenience store video, and that was it for them. It was just you know what? He was evil from that point on, and whatever happened to him the minute he left that store, he deserved in most people's eyes. I've already said it, I'm going to say it one more time. I don't think any of these parties were 100% innocent. Nobody was innocent in this case, and that's why I'm kind of like, you're kind of guilty and you're kind of guilty, and one person is now dead. So you're still guilty of something. One person was guilty of robbing a store, the other person is guilty of killing somebody, which is worse. So yeah, I don't think there's any innocent parties in this story at all. But that's what I think, and that's what I think is gonna happen. That's what I think is coming down. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think will happen. And happy thoughts from Ferguson. Please don't steal anybody's TVs. Don't break windows in the stores. Don't do anything. That's someone's job. That's someone's job, and that's someone providing jobs. So don't do that. Alright, you guys, that's it for me. To got the greatest Sean. It lived long and prosper. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Poke. And let me know what your thoughts are on this case. Let me know what you think of Darren Wilson, who was the cop. Let me know what you think of Mike Brown. Let me know what you think of that whole scene. Alright, guys. Bye.